Let's build a sleek, interactive modal in Webflow that will elevate your user experience. First, we need a trigger element. This could be a button, a link, or even an image that, when clicked, will open our modal. Let's add a button for this example and give it a clear label like Open Modal. Next, let's create the modal itself. We'll add a div block to our canvas. This will be the container for our entire modal name. It's something descriptive, like modal wrapper. Inside this modal wrapper, we'll need another div block to act as the modal's background overlay, making the main content slightly dimmed. Let's call this one modal background. Now let's style the modal background. We want it to cover the entire screen. Set its position to fixed, and position it to the top, right, bottom, and left of 0. Give it a background color, perhaps a semi-transparent black, and ensure it stays on top of everything else with a high index value. Crucially, we need to initially hide this modal wrapper. Select it, and set its display to none. This way, it won't be visible until we trigger it. Now let's build the actual modal content inside our modal wrapper, and separate from the modal background. Add another div block. This will be our modal's content area. Let's call it modal content. Within modal content, you can add anything you need: headings, paragraphs, forms, images, whatever your modal requires. For this demo, let's add a heading and a p tag. We also need a way to close the modal. Add a close button element inside modal content. Style it to your liking, perhaps with an X icon. Now for the interaction. Select the button that will trigger the modal in the Interactions panel. Under Element Triggers, choose Mouse Click. For the on-click action, select Open and choose Modal Wrapper from the drop-down. To make it smooth, we'll add an animation. Click on the Create New Animation button and name it something like Open Modal Animation. Set the initial state of Modal Wrapper to opacity 0 and scale 90%. Then add a keyframe for 0% and set its opacity to 100% and scale to 100%. Add another keyframe at 100% to ensure it stays visible. Choose an easing function, like Ease Out, for a nice visual effect. Now select the Close button within your modal in the Interactions panel. On mouse click, choose Close, and then select Current Elements Parent. We also want to trigger an animation here. Create a new animation named Close Modal Animation. Set the modal wrapper to fade out and shrink. You can reuse the same opacity and scale properties as the opening animation, but in reverse. Finally, go back to the modal wrapper and set its initial display back to block. And there you have it, an interactive modal ready to enhance your Webflow site.